Hey friends, there's a story that is told about a man who was sitting at home late on Christmas Eve. He was sitting home alone because his wife went to church on Christmas Eve, but he didn't have time for all that nonsense. So as he sat in his most comfortable chair by the fireplace, listening to the crackle, he noticed that it was starting to snow. And then it started to snow more and more. And as he saw the snow begin to pile up, he of course had concern for his wife, but he remembered that he just put new snow tires on the truck and everything was going to be fine with her. But then his attention was averted somewhere else. He began to hear almost a pounding sound on his window. And so he began to try to figure out what it was until he noticed that it was birds. They were flying around, but because of the snow, they couldn't see, and they ended up running into the house. Well, he didn't want that to happen, so he opened the window and shouted at them and tried to get them to go somewhere else. And in fact, he thought, you know what I could do? I could help those birds. And so he opened his garage door and he turned on the light and he tried to shoo the birds off into the garage so they would be safe from the snow, but they wouldn't listen to him. So he actually went outside, got in the garage itself, and started trying to coax them to come into him, putting out birdseed, putting out all sorts of food, all sorts of different lighting so that they could see that it was safe inside. But of course, the birds wouldn't listen to him. And he began to think, if only I could somehow become a bird myself, then I could show them and tell them and speak to them and let them know where safety truly is. And then he finally realized that's why his wife went to church on Christmas. It's an old story, and the illustration doesn't match one for one, but I think that you could probably understand the point. He understood that Jesus became a human being to help out human beings, no matter how much coaxing the Father shouted from above. No matter how many rules he put down in the Ten Commandments and in the good book, none of that was going to convince human beings where the true safety was. And so he became one of those human beings. But here's where your God is even better than some story. Your God didn't send Jesus to become a human being just so that he could show you the way. Your Jesus became a human being to be the way, to do everything that you and I could not do, to follow all of those commands that are in the good book, and then dying on the cross, receiving the punishment that you and I deserve for all of our sins. We celebrate Christmas and we make such a big deal of it, not just for the presents or the trees or the lights, but because our God became one with us, united himself to us to do everything in our place, to be our perfect substitute in his life and in his death, so that we would have forgiveness of sins and be eternally safe. May God bless you as you continue to celebrate the glory of Christmas. Peace be with you.